Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the show. On the show today, we are doing a movie review, and the movie we are talking about today is TOKUNBO. It is available on Netflix. It was directed by Ramsey. So we're going to break this review into three categories. We're going to talk about the performances of the acts. We're going to talk about what I liked. We're going to talk about what I didn't like, and then at the end of that, we'll talk about what I am personally rating this movie over 5. If this seems like something you're interested in, click on the subscribe button, like this video, share, and also leave your comments if you've seen this movie. Let me know what you thought about it. I'll be honest, I usually don't like to read reviews or watch reviews until I've seen movies. So I went onto Netflix and I came across this movie and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna watch it later that weekend. Now, I was on YouTube and then I stumbled on a review by somebody else. And that review threw me off. It threw me off so badly that I kept that movie for like 2 weeks. Then over the weekend, I said, let me watch it. Anyway, let's get into it. TOKUNBO tells the story of this car smuggler who says he's no longer interested in it because his wife is pregnant and wants to put to bed, and so he's looking for something better to do with his life. Unfortunately, his son is having a heart condition or something. He takes up this job of delivering things for an unknown person. On one of this, his deliveries, a girl gets put in his car. And so now he has to weather the storm to see how he can raise this money to save the life of his son. Unfortunately, the person he is asked to deliver across the border is the daughter of the new CBN governor. This review is going to contain a bit of spoiler, so I'm so sorry if you haven't seen it. Maybe you should pause it, go and watch it on Netflix, then you can come back to my review. Now, this movie has amazing stars or acts like Chidi, Mokeme, Majid, Gideon, Okeke, then Darasimi, who is naked, the little girl. He has Funny Bone as well. He has Dunnie. Now, Gideon, who is like the main character, is a very wonderful actor, and I think it was part of the reason why I kept pushing myself. I don't get to see him in a lot of films, right? So when I saw him as the lead actor, I was like, oh, okay, here's one film I'm looking forward to see. He brought his A game into it. I also particularly liked that he took on a role that is not his tribe, and he fitted into that role so perfectly. So yes, he did a wonderful job. Adoni's character was, I don't know if I would say that it was unexpected. As for the bank governor, I'm not sure that I've seen her that's Funlola, right? I'm not sure that I've seen her in movies where she's acting a lot different from this woman who is in her bag, who knows her shit and all that. I've never seen her in it. So I think it's a role that you can tap her from sleep and she can get into quite right. So I really like that. Now, the way that they casted the bad guy, I felt like it was somehow in that when they were making the call, right, I felt like they could have shown us a side that would make us understand what's his motivation for him deciding to do this thing. We didn't get to see that, so I don't know what his motivation is, honestly. And so I couldn't connect with the character and the way that it was depicted. The usual bad guy in a corner, tech guy. Like, really, let's think about it. Somebody who is a deputy governor, why is he the one micromanaging a kidnap case? I don't understand. So I liked everybody's performance, I would say. Nike, again, a very wonderful child act. So yeah, I always think that she gives her all to her movies. Now, let's talk about what I liked. I like the cinematography of the film. It was a bit different. I felt like they put in their best to show us, to give us a show, right? So I liked what they did with the video, what they did with the color grading. So that was good. I also liked the cinematography. I've said that before. There were a few parts of this movie that stood out for me. Again, I feel like all the scenes that I like are actually tied to Gideon Okeke's character. And this is no shade to Ramsey Noah, because I don't know that they were looking to give us a good show. That is what I would say. Because I don't think anything stood out in the film other than Gideon's character. As for Gaza, Gaza reminded me of Shantytown, so I felt like it was an extension of his character was in Shantytown. Again, I really didn't understand his motivation. Like, you're a villain, okay, good. You tricked this guy into taking a job when you had said you were letting him go. I didn't understand it, so I felt like a lot of the issue for me was that I couldn't connect with why each character was the way that they were, apart from maybe Tokumbo's, who's, let's say, the story is that he's broke, right? And he needs money. But I think Aduni's character had a bit of story, a backstory. Apart from that, I don't know that both Majid Michael and Chidi Mokeme told us, or we got to know why they turned out the way they did. There were a lot of places in the film I felt like they wanted to take me for a ride. Like, okay, first of all, how did that guy kidnap Nike, who is the daughter of a sitting CBN governor, in broad daylight? So the guy just walks into the school, enters the changing room, grabs this girl, and then throws her over his shoulder, and then he walks out of the school. What kind of school does? This is not a shade on, schools who are not, but I'm like, what kind of school does the daughter of the CBN governor go to that has no security whatsoever? But you have CCTV. How do you not have security? How can somebody just walk into the school and pick this girl and walk out of the school? You must think we are mad, right? Then the part where they flew off the bridge, right, into the water. Now, it was broad daylight. I think maybe early evening or something, because even when they were trying to pull out the vehicle, I could tell that that was not evening. I could tell that that was morning, because there was dew around the river or the lagoon or whatever it's called, right? I could tell. But let's leave that, right? Now, you want to tell me that because Nikia is participating in swimming competition, she is that good a swimmer, that they were inside that water, let's say from early evening into the night, and they didn't come up for air. All the helicopters that was following them, checking the water, they didn't see them. And then you swam for that long, or you were underwater for that long, and you came out and you're breathing fine. Wow. Wow. Maybe, sometimes the way I think about this thing is because I'm a writer, and as a writer, sometimes I think, you write something and then it seems really long, and then you want to chop, and then you chop off without considering how the other parts or what the other part is going to look like. So I think maybe this is an issue of, we wanted to give you guys a complete film, but during the production, we are finding out, oh, this movie is getting too long, so let's cut out some parts. So I want to believe that that's what happened, because really, and then Deputy Governor, you that's supposed to be handling something in Abuja, you are right in that same Lagos with them, and the CBN governor does not know that you are, like, it didn't make sense to me, because I was like, if you want to tell us a story, tell us a good story. Tell us a story that anybody who watches this film, even if you have questions, is not this much questions. Then the part where Nike and Tokunbo started to bond, I'm like, okay, I like to think children, a lot of things fly over children's head, right? And maybe the first instance that she was scared, she was worried that, oh, she was kidnapped. Maybe she took pity on the guy because she overheard the conversation he had with his wife about the son, the sick son. But now, this guy gets arrested. He gets taken to jail or prison. And then for some reason, he comes out. This is somebody who was delivering cocaine and kidnap, right? So kidnap a full human being. And he didn't look like he was going to return that child. But again, I'm not sure about that, because if he didn't want to return the child, maybe he would have driven straight to Raymond, right? But he didn't. He took the child to Dunnie. I can't remember her character's name now. And then that scene with Gaza, where they were fighting, please make it make sense to me. Make it make sense to me how they were fighting, right? And I know he wanted to stall because he didn't want, to be slaughtered or his arm to be chopped off like Adunni's nephew. But make it make sense how Gaza is beating the hell out of him, right? And then they throw him out of the building, like outside. How did they get to the top of that container? I know that maybe again, like I said, I want to believe that there was an entire process where these guys were fighting and then they get to climb the container, right? But that's what I want to believe, because or maybe they just wanted the cinematography to have an effect of, I don't know, but how did that happen? Please. Then Gaza's boys are around, or his men are around and cheering Gaza up. Gaza, Gaza, Gaza. While Gaza is beating TOKUNBO. Now, who did the gun fall from? Is it from Gaza's body? Because I didn't see at any point that Gaza was the gun. Let's say the gun fell from one of these guys, right? How stupid could they have been that a gun fell from them? They watched her leave where she was standing, pick the gun, aim it at Gaza, and shot him. How? I don't know whose fault this is, because again, I want to believe that this movie was a complete film. But for some reason, some parts got cut off. That's what I want to believe. There are easier routes they could have gone with the film that would have given us maybe not so much of a banger, but it would have been a lot better to watch than this thing they gave us. So in terms of what I like and what I didn't like, you see that there are a lot of things. So, but if you doubt me and you want to watch the movie for yourself, go and watch the film. When you watch it, then come to my comment section and tell me what you thought about it. That's all I have to say about the film. I did not enjoy it, which I don't know that it is a function of the acting, because I felt like everybody did what they were supposed to do. But I felt like maybe the characters just felt a lot like the same that we've seen from other films, apart from Gideon's character, obviously, because I rarely ever get to see him in movies. So yeah, watch it if you haven't seen, like me, you haven't seen Gideon in a lot of films. Maybe watch it. Funny Bone's character, I did enjoy his parts as well. Yeah, I think that's about it for me. In terms of rating, I'm going to rate it 2/5. 2/5 because I don't think that they had us in mind, or they had people like me in mind when they were producing or directing this film. So this is not an insult to the filmmakers or the people who were in this film, but I just felt like there were a lot of things that didn't make sense to me. If I offended you, if you are part of the filmmakers or the actors, again, I know that this is not a function of your acting. It's more so the way that the story was told. So yeah, that's about it for me. Please, if you haven't subscribed, please kindly subscribe to the channel, like, comment, and share my video. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.